Bad news today, guys. I didn't want to be the one to break the news for you in One Piece, but we are here today in memory of our dear Vice Admiral TBone, who has just been killed in the One Piece world. Please, a moment of silence for him.
Hey yo, who the hell was T-Bone?
What? You don't remember TBone? He's that guy, the Vice Admiral. The. Shit, you're right. I have no idea what the hell this guy did in the past. I got you guys, though, with a brief reminder. T-Bone was that one Marine captain that we saw during Water 7 that confronted the Straw Hats, specifically on the sea train when they were on the route to Eni's lobby. And Zoro clapped his ass real fast and left them for dead in the water. To be honest, this guy really should have been dead at that point when he got knocked into the water because that was a crazy storm they were going through. However, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a vice admiral. It's kind of sad though because wasn't T-Bone like a really good-hearted person? One of the Marines that was actually caring for the people? That's just really heartbreaking when you think about it that a civilian betrayed him. RIP, my boy. But yeah, that's him. Ever since Cross Guild started up and started doing bounties on actual Marines, they're starting to become a target and people are getting desperate to make money, so they go for the kills, regardless if they're a Marine or pirate. It doesn't matter to them. And to be honest, I'm not saying it's a walk in the park to get a kill on a Marine. We know the Marines aren't no pushovers and we know they have monsters in there. However, as a civilian who's hungry and has no ways of feeding their family, it's probably easier to kill a Marine, especially if a Marine is helping to protect you. And that Marine ends up thinking that they saved everybody and thinks that all is good until that one person decides to stab them from behind so they can collect a reward. It definitely isn't an easy time to be a Marine unless you have a Logia or you're just someone like Fujitora. At Navy HQ, we see Sengoku and Suru talking with each other. They're talking about the incident of how Vice Admiral T-Bone died and how he got betrayed by people that he was protecting. Alright, so Suru is not agreeing with Buggy, but she starts telling Sengoku that if this really was his goal in all this, to get people to attack Marines, then they've underestimated Buggy a whole lot. And there we have it again. I love how Buggy's status just keeps getting elevated chapter to chapter. It seems no matter what happens to Buggy, the situation just always goes in his favor and it becomes the best possible favor. And that's why he's Buggy D Goat. They don't know for sure that that was Buggy's intentions, let alone Cross Guilds, but just in case that it was, Sengoku says that they have to strike back now. If they don't, it's just going to undermine the power of the Marines, and that's something that you don't want the people to see, weakness for the Marines. Afterwards, he starts asking where Garp is at. He says a new flavor for rice crackers just came out, and I love that these two bond over new rice cracker flavors. That's like if a new Kit Kat flavor came on, I just start going to my boy like, yo, did you see this new apple pie Kit Kat flavor? Yo, take a bite, man. Come on, this shit is banging. Let's be honest, that does sound pretty good. Never had it though. The one who replies to Sengoku is Hina, and she tells him that Garp left a couple days ago trying to save Kobe and that he went with Sword. Okay, I've been waiting for this. We are now at Empty Bluffs Island in the New World. Where is that? Well, that is the island of Cross Guild. As you can see in the island, it's all set up. It looks like a circus, which is pretty cool because it's obviously run by Buggy. You know, because he controls those peasants, Mihawk and Crocodile. And we see the dude who took out the Vice Admiral. He's just some random villager. This guy was in distress. He needed to send money to his family ASAP, and now he has the money to. Buggy ends up giving the guy his money for killing the Vice Admiral. I'm not saying the dude was right for killing, and it's obviously a bad thing, but you gotta feel bad for the dude. He felt like this was his last option. He saw an opportunity and he took it. It's one thing to be starving for yourself, but it's a whole nother thing when you see your whole family starving and about to die. Buggy starts reassuring the guy not to worry. Even if he did kill a Marine, the Marines would no doubtedly be after him, especially with him killing a Vice Admiral. But not to worry, because Buggy's an Emperor, and he's gonna take care of him the pirate way. Now Buggy's crew is hot, they're hyping him up. Buggy's about to say something when another crewmate runs in, interrupting Buggy's speech, and says it's complete. Cross Guild's ship is now complete. Let's take a look at this beauty, shall we? So they show him the ship, and the ship is great. Only thing is, right in the bow of the ship, like at the very front, is a big ass portrait of Buggy's head. Buggy starts freaking out because he knows how the other two will get if they see this. And at that moment, Crocodile and Mihawk both appear, and with perfect timing too, and says, why do we have to get on a ship like this? And ask Buggy to come with them to the conference room. I gotta feel bad for Buggy here. He's in tears, literally in tears, after knowing what's about to happen to him. These are guys not to be messed with, and they're pissed. They hate the idea that the world thinks that Buggy rules over them and that Buggy's their leader. And now with this, their situation doesn't get any better. Oh man, look how they massacred my boy. They got Buggy's head hanging on a hook, and they beat the hell out of my Yonko. It's at this moment as readers that we find out what the true goal is. Mihawk and Crocodile are trying to create a utopia. In their words, they want it to be a military state that's not threatened by any force, and what they need is power. They need overwhelming power. That way that there's nothing in the world that can stop this utopia and stop it from crumbling. It'll cost a lot of money to get that together, which is obviously wealth and power that they need. And this sets off Buggy. Buggy's still hung up, but he speaks with his chest while he has no chest as he's hanging. Wealth and power? Those words? Nah, he ain't fucking with it. He says to kill him already if that's what they want to do, and asks if they're still pirates. These guys want to do all this, but that's not what true pirates do. To be pirates and to be some of the best pirates, they gotta go out for the one treasure, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. He brings up Shanks and says that he's on the move. Obviously on the move to collect 4 road poneglyphs so he can get the One Piece. And begins reminiscing, talking about both of them being on the Pirate King ship at the same time. For certain reasons, they couldn't go to Laugh Tale. We know what those reasons were. And asked Crocodile and Mihawk what did they want to be when they were younger. And it's really cool that we see another flashback with Buggy and Shanks when they were on the Pirate King ship. Okay, I shouldn't say on the ship because this is after Roger died. And we get surprising words from Buggy. Instead of pure jealousy and hatred for Shanks, he starts praising Shanks. And he was actually down at one point to join Shanks and become a crew member for Shanks until Shanks said that he wasn't going to go after the One Piece. Before Roger's death, he did say to Buggy at one point that he was going to have his own ship to go to Laugh Tale someday. But at that moment, Buggy finds out that Shanks changed his mind. He's not aiming for that, which makes him really mysterious of a character. Shanks is always mysterious, don't get me wrong about that. But what could this man possibly have thought of at this age that he wanted to accomplish? Why did he wait so long to try to go for the One Piece? It's not until now that he's going for the One Piece, and he's in his 40s. What could he have possibly known and possibly have done throughout all this time? In Shanks' words, he's not aiming for that at the moment, but he's still gonna keep being a pirate. This disappoints Buggy greatly. In his words, he could have been the next king. He saw the potential in Shanks even at that age, while also knowing fully well the strength that Shanks possesses, and wanted Shanks to become the next king. The question comes up again after Shanks tells Buggy his plans and tells Buggy to sail with him, to which Buggy replies that he would never become his subordinate. From that moment on, Buggy is hella tight at Shanks. It's important to Buggy to live on as a pirate and continuing their captain's legacy. Seeing their captain finally get executed, I'm sure this was very emotional for Buggy, and a huge letdown that Shanks wouldn't be on board with Buggy in this. And going back to Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk, Shanks is on the move, and he tells them you can call it fate, an accident, whatever the hell you want to talk about. But he managed to get this Yonko status, and he will aim to become the Pirate King too. The race is on between all 4 Yonkos to see who becomes Pirate King. And I know Luffy's the main character, he's our boy, and we know Blackbeard is up to crazy things. We got you Shanks fans out there, but I'm personally rooting for Buggy. I want to see him succeed in this, and at least be the first person to find the One Piece. Look, I know, Luffy's the main character and the whole goal for him is to become the Pirate King, and that's still something I desperately want to see too. It's just not fitting if Luffy doesn't become the king by the end of the series. But Buggy's an icon to us. He's an icon to us people who don't have a lot of talent, a whole lot of pull in this world, and yet still tries to become the best person that they could. In the beginning of the series, we see Buggy hanging around East Blue, the weakest sea in the whole series. To see him go from a pirate there to eventually becoming a warlord to a Yonko now is hella impressive. It's admirable even. Now how great would it be to actually see him succeed in doing the Pirate King status next? I'm super excited to see what Oda has in plan for him next. And you know what, to be fair, if Crocodile and Mihawk took Buggy more serious, they could probably all see this goal come true. Buggy is a guy who was traveling with the king of the pirates at one point. He can tell them all about the knowledge that Roger had, all the information and places that they went to. He would be a huge help to them in succeeding in capturing this treasure. And as he's hyped up, Buggy grabs the transponder snail and he speaks a message into the broadcasting system for his crew and tells them, let's take the One Piece. Say what you want about Buggy, but give him his credit. This guy has massive balls to be talking shit to Crocodile and Mihawk like that, telling them, no, forget everything else you have planned. Let's go for the biggest thing of all, the biggest treasure. We gotta go for the legendary One Piece. I love to see it. I love Buggy's supremacy. For the final portion of the chapter, we're now back at Kamabaka, of course, where all the revolutionaries are at. Sabo has returned, and it's no surprise to me that he's returned and that he's alive. If you go way back to my video when I was talking about the chapter where shit turned left for him and he ended up dying, quote unquote, then you know that I was talking about that there's no way in hell that Sabo's getting killed. And trust me, I am aware that I'm not the only one who thought of this too. Anyway, Sabo has returned, and he's returned with a ship from Lulusia. You know, the country that got absolutely annihilated by Eam, and the country that mysteriously disappeared. Eam, you bastard. Alright, for those of you who didn't read this chapter and somehow watching my video, who do you think was the first person to greet Sabo as he got off this ship? And greet him with kicks. Nah, man, I'm not talking about the kick cereal. I'm talking about full-on assault kicks. That's right, it's our girl Koala. She's angry with him because he cut off communications, but he only cut off his communication because it would have been intercepted. But the mystery, how did he survive? Well, turns out he wasn't on Lulusia after all. And Koala begins crying, hugging him, being relieved and saying that she was worried as hell. I just want you guys to know that I'm not the kind of person who typically ships characters in series, but I definitely gotta ship these two. These two go great together, and I love that Koala can show her compassion and empathy towards Sabo. But Sabo ended up saving these people from Lulusia, got them all on the ship before the country ended up meeting its demise, and managed to even recruit some of these people to join the Revolutionary Army. Man, these people are so damn lucky because you guys were this close to being lifeless. And in the final two panels, Sabo is sitting down with Ivankov and Dragon. Sabo tells Dragon that he heard about Kuma and he was probably programmed to return to Marijuas at some point in time. And I'm still waiting to get the answer on that and what the hell's going on with Kuma. It's time. Sabo has a report to give to these two. A report so classified that not even the officers can hear about this. A report so dangerous that just hearing about it can put your life in danger. And that's where he starts his story. This year's reverie was complete chaos. I'll tell you everything that happened at the Holy Land. And the chapter ends. God damn it. And I just know for a fact, by the time we get to the next chapter, we're gonna go right back to Egghead. Oda is toying with us, man. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. He's probably thinking that we're excited for this Reverie flashback and finally see what was going on and see what the revolutionaries are gonna do. See what everyone's reaction is to what Sabo tells them. But nah, he's gonna cut right back. I just know it. It's okay though. I'm a patient man, alright? I can wait for this. Hell, I got through the Dressrosa arc in the anime, okay? I witnessed all that shit twice. I'm patient as hell. But just sit there and think about this. For the end of the chapter, Sabo is about to give the revolutionaries' leader, Dragon, the most wanted man in the world, important information that can never be heard, information that can get you killed, and he's about to give it to Dragon. You just know if the world government heard about this, they would be pissed. We don't know what it is, but we know it's not something to take lightly. This situation isn't something we should take lightly. This possibly gives Dragons the tool, the weapon, to have a counter plan. Or time to really think about how the hell he's gonna solve this huge problem that they have. Anyways, a great chapter as always. Can't wait to see next week. Although I believe next week is on break, so can't wait to see the week after that. You guys let me know what you thought of this chapter. Comment down below. Comment the future events that you think are about to be happening. Make sure you guys like, comment, sub, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one.